and sisters to our program. We have with us our guest, Sheikh Jafar Imran. Welcome, Brother Jafar. I apologize that you cannot see me on the screen today because there's been a technical problem. Hence, you're seeing my picture. But I'm there, alive, and I can see you. Unfortunately, you cannot see me. These things happen sometimes. So let's start the program.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, our dear viewers, and you, Brother Faizul Hassan. I hope you are well, and I hope you are trying to get benefit of the month ending, inshallah, as you purify your soul and as you uplift your spirit towards a higher position that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you big after Ramadan. And inshallah, may you continue with the same spirit even after Ramadan, inshallah.
Thank you, Brother Jafar, and same to you. I hope all our viewers, all our brothers and sisters that are watching the program, they also continue this spirit of taqwa and the blessings they've obtained from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They keep it consistent throughout the whole year till the next Ramadan. This is our last program today that we will do. We're not sure if tomorrow will be Eid or it will be on Saturday. So far, the moon is, according to our hemisphere, it's 0.4%. So 0.4%, I don't still think that's a hilal. That's not considered as a hilal, as a crescent. Therefore, maybe the Eid might be on Saturday. What about you?
Yeah, here people they announced maybe the Eid can be tomorrow. Even in Kenya, our interior, cabinet secretary or internal security, he has announced that tomorrow will be a public holiday for Muslims who will be celebrating their Eid because on Saturday it's normally a weekend. So inshallah tomorrow maybe some people will celebrate. So we are waiting for the Chief Qadi of Kenya and Chief Qadi of Tanzania, Mufti, they call it Mufti of Tanzania, to announce whether the Eid is tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, inshallah.
I see. Well, so far from the telescopes, Brother Jafar, in our hemisphere, the moon still hasn't become a crescent yet. So once
Mm.
it starts showing the signs of a crescent through telescope, then I can say that yes, Eid has started or something like that. But yes, let's come back to our program and we discuss about the topics that we wanted to discuss today. So, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And Brother Jafar, would you like to start?
Yes, I would like to start without taking much time. Inshallah, inshallah, I hope may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or I hope inshallah, your prayers, supplications, and fasting during this month of Ramadan has been accepted. And on the other side, it is that we know that the Satan or the Shaitan is no longer at work. That's what I can say. So whatever you have, you have harvested for yourself, it is through your own it is through your own hard work, and it is through Allah's success and Allah's tawfiq. I can say that. So it is you and your nafs. If you've harvested anything, or if you have invested anything for your akhirah, it is through your own success. Now, in the next month, the shaitan will be free and will be subjected to him. So, how powerful will shaitan be for him to control us? That is another thing. If we have not yet, safetened ourselves or our safety during this month of Ramadan, I don't think if in the next month or in the next coming month, or for the Swahili people in the coming year, I don't know if we'll be firm enough to fight against shaitans, waswas, or some whispers from shaitan. So for that, just to complete our fasting, we have some narrations that are talking about. We have some narrations that are talking about zakatul. giving out zakah. So what is it? What is it about zakah? So that's what I want us to talk about and to know the benefits of giving out zakah. If I give out zakah, if I don't give out zakah, will my fasting be accepted or not? Is it a complementary act for the fasting or no? It is a separate act, or it is a just what a compulsory or an obligatory act that we have to do it after fasting. Inshallah, we'll be talking about zakatul fitra because it is very important, and inshallah, maybe people tomorrow will be start giving out zakah. So, Brother Faizul Hassan, if I may ask before I continue, what is the amount of zakatul fitra people are supposed to pay there in UK? Have you done a
Yes,
research about it?
I have done a research about it, Brother Jafar, and
Yes,
the start here is starting from the research that I've done is £7 to £10, depending on
yes.
the because the inflation has gone up as well. The prices
Uh,
of the basic commodities has gone up. So the amount I'm listening from is £7 to £10, but most likely it will be £10. So ten
okay.
pounds in dollars will
From
be,
our yes.
it will be around $12. I would say $12.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay, from our
and
side in Nairobi, the people who live in Nairobi, it is 500 Kenyan shilling, and the people who live in Mombasa and the people who live in Nakuru, they should pay 450 Kenyan shilling per head. So that if I say Nairobi, Nairobi is the capital city, so that's nothing to discuss about. But when I say Mombasa, it is the coastal region that contains Mombasa, Voi, Taita Taveta, Malindi, Kilifi, I don't know, Lamu, all this region or that coastal province people should pay 450. And when it comes to Nakuru, we go from Rift Valley province and also Nyanza province, people should pay 450. But in Nairobi, because the prices are high, so people there should pay 500 Kenyan shillings. So let me start with the Zakatul Fitra. And we talk about it. We discuss a little bit about it. Zakatul Fitra. Here I saw a narration says that Zakatul Fitra shartun fi qabuli sawm. Zakatul Fitra is a condition for your sawm, for your fasting to be accepted. What is it? How is it about? Why is it like that? We can. I got a hadith from the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that says, "Inna sawma Ramadan mu'allaqun bayna as-sama'i wal-ard, la yurfa illa bi zakatul fitr." The fasting of Ramadan is hanging between the heavens and the earth, and it is not going to ascend to heavens without giving out zakah. Here, the Holy Prophet tries to show us the importance of giving out zakah for the people who can, who are able to give out zakah. It is not that our fasting has not been accepted. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has accepted, and inshallah, may He accept our fasting. But on the other side, He tries on the importance of giving out zakah. So you can imagine that you've already fasted for 29 days, for the other people for 30 days, but your fasting is just hanging here till we give out. We have a verse from the Holy Quran that says, "Qad aflaha man tazakka." He has succeeded, or he has certainly succeeded, who purifies himself, or who purifies his wealth, or who gives out zakah. Purifying yourself or purifying, your wealth is through zakah. وَذَكَرَ اسْمَ رَبِّهِ فَصَلَّى. And here we can see with this وَذَكَرَ اسْمَ رَبِّهِ فَصَلَّى and mentions the name of his Lord and praise. So here we can say that the verse talks about what zakatul fitr. Because after you've given out zakah, it is a condition that you give out zakah before you go for your prayer possible. So the night before, if today they will announce that the Eid is tomorrow, the Eid day is tomorrow. Then from tonight we have to give out what we have to give out zakah, so that when we go tomorrow and participate in the prayer, in the Eid prayer, we've already given out zakah. So with this context of wadhakara isma rabbihi fasalla, we can say that this one it talks about what? It talks about zakat. قد أفلح من تزكى. He has succeeded, he has certainly succeeded, the one who gives zakah and mentions the name of his Lord and praise. So we have to give out zakah to be successful in our daily life, and also for our sound, for our fasting to be accepted. So zakatul fitra is a condition for our prayer, for our fasting to be accepted. So that is the first thing. The second thing is istihbab ikhrajuha qabla al-iftar. It is mustahab for us to give it out or to give the zakat before iftar, before futur, and it means before breakfast. Before we have our breakfast, it is mustahab for us to give it out. But if we don't have, let me say, you are waiting for somebody to give you your money or to return back your money for you to give out. That's something else. That's an exemption. But we are talking about normal routine. We have to give it out. If it is possible, we give out tonight. If Eid will be announced tomorrow, then we give out our zakat tonight. Then tomorrow we participate in the Salatul Eid. And it is very recommended, or it is highly recommended, we give it to the people who deserve. We give it to the people who deserve. If we know there is a person, and I remember I mentioned something to do with the sadaqah when we were talking about sadaqah, Brother Faizul. I said some people, they fail to know their own region and to know their own poor people. They take their money, they put their money in their pocket. Then when you ask them, why are you not giving out sadaqah? Why are you not giving out charity? They tell you, I haven't found anybody who deserves my sadaqah to give it out. So we have to visit these people. One day you just put your car aside, walk the way other people walk. Try to find the people who are in need. Try to find the poor people. Give out anything in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So by us living in such a community, we know we respect your value, we respect your dignity, we respect your position in the society. You have your own car, no problem. Put your car aside a little bit. Try to live the way other people live. Try to walk in their shoe and know which people are needy. So giving out sadaqah to the people who are in need, sorry, it is mustahab. It is highly recommended. So you shouldn't just give out, oh, let me give it to Imam, let me give it to somebody, let me give it to the other person. Maybe they are not in need of that sadaqah. The people who are in need of it, they are there in our society, they are there in the community. We have to go to them and give out the sadaqah to them. استحباب دفعها باليد. It is highly recommended for us to give it out by or with our hands, our own hands, not through mobile. You know what? Western Union have already paid. No. If we can buy the food commodity that people use it in their daily life, like here in Kenya, people they use maize or maize flour and rice. If we can just take it by our hands and give it to the people who are in need, it is highly recommended. كراهة إخراجها من البلد. It is makruh to take it out of the country. We know, like I'm here, I send it to someone else who is in another country, and yet we have a lot of needy people here. In our, like, let me say, in our basic, it is like you, Brother Faizul Hassan. It is makruh for you to give the sadaqah to send the sadaqah to Pakistan or to another country while you are living in the UK. So the people who deserve it over there, the one you said, I don't know, $12, £7, those people they need that amount. If you send it to other country, maybe the value right now in Kenya, if I send $5 to US, what is the person going to do with it? It's very little. But if I give it out to the people who are living in Kenya, they will make use of it. يوم العيد يوم الجائزة. In the day of Eid, it is a day of celebration, and it is very good to give out hadaya, to give out gifts, to gift people, to appreciate them. For us, the children, it is very recommended we give out hadiyah, we give out jaiza, it is mustahab to make other people to make other people happy, to just to put some smile on their face. Like right now, me, I can send something to my mother, or to my father, or even to my grandmother, to tell her that you can celebrate with that. You take that one and celebrate your Eid. You have a fantastic Eid with that little that I'm giving you. And inshallah, one of and in the last point that I would like to mention, it is mustahab, a highly recommended mustahab for us to participate in what? In Salatul Eid. So if Eid is tomorrow, the people who are living in East Africa region, then it is highly recommended for us to participate in Salatul Eid. And we know the dua that is there, and we shouldn't feel shy going with a paper that is written, that we have already written or we have printed the dua on it. No problem with that. We are there doing kunut. The kunut is so long. We take like this and we read it. No problem. It is not going to damage our prayers. So our prayers shall be accepted with no doubt, inshallah. Do you have anything, brother, to add?
Yes, just a few things on this topic of zakat al-fitrah. This is a
Mm,
insurance for our health for the next year.
yeah.
It's a bime.
Mm,
It's a
mm,
protection. It's a shield.
yes.
For
Mm,
we are taking, and you know how we pay insurance for our vehicles, for our
yes. Yes.
buildings. So this is an
Mm,
insurance for our salamati, our body, health for our body, that
mm,
we are safe, we are insured,
yes.
nothing happens to us till the next year.
Yes.
And yes,
Mm,
the minimum rate is, for example, in your country, 7 shillings or something like that. You said, which is around
mm,
$4. But having said
mm,
that, this is not entirely that someone just has to give the minimum. Someone can give maximum as
mm.
well. Someone can
Yes. Yes.
say a lot of things in that way. Does that make sense?
Mm,
So this is where
yes.
we
Yes.
have to look at the situation. Some people can
Mm,
say this, some people can say that, but they have to give as much as they can give possible. The minimum is for
mm,
someone who has very limited means of giving the zakat, and also you have to give the amount of the number of people living under your roof. Have you come across
yes.
that, Brother Jafar? So the number of people that are
Yes. Yes.
living under.
I thought maybe people will know it. That's why I didn't mention it. I just mentioned some few points. Yes, you can add. Alhamdulillah, we are getting it.
Yeah. So it has to be, but then there are some questions on that. What if we have guests in your house? Do we have to pay for them as well? These are some superstitions that we have, or some myths that we have, where
Mm,
some people don't go to each other's houses on the eve of Eid. The reason why is because they feel, oh, they will have to pay the fitrana of theirs as well, who are under the roof. But that's not true. It is for whoever is under your dependency. Now, what does that mean,
mm,
dependency? Whoever is your
mm,
dependent. For example, Brother Jafar, if you come to my house and you are now in my house at the eve of Eid al-Fitr,
mm.
so I will not be paying for for you, because you're a guest. You're not under my
Yes.
dependency. You're my friend. You've just come in to
Mm,
see me, visit me, and therefore it does not
yes.
make me, make you part of my dependent person. And just like that, if I
Yes.
go to your house on the day
Mm,
on the eve of Eid al-Fitr, it will not
mm,
become mandatory on you to pay the fitrana, the zakat, for me and my family. For example, if I come with my family, so we are 6 people, me
mm,
and my wife and the 4 children. So that doesn't mean that
mm,
you will then have to pay for 6 people the fitrana. No, no, no. It's not like
mm,
that. What it is that whoever is your dependent. Now, dependent
mm,
means that whoever is financially dependent on you. Now, for example, I might have a son who is studying in another country. But because I am
mhm.
sending him the money, so I will have to take his fitrana even out, even though he's not under my roof. He's in another country. Does that make
Yes.
sense? So whoever is
Yes, yes, it
under,
does.
when it is under your house, it means under your dependency. They are dependent on you. They get their livelihood, their food, their support from you. This is what we call
Mm,
dependency, and so you pay for those
yes.
people the fitrana. Now,
Mm,
there are some points that I can raise here. For example, if someone is working, is if it's a family business, and then
mm,
in the family business, who pays the fitrana? Well, if you are earning money independently from the family business, so I'll give you an example. If you have a father and the father
mm,
has employed you as your as an employee in the family business, and he gives you shahriya, he gives you salary or wage, then
mm,
you will have to take out your own fitrana for yourself and for
mm.
your children as well. He
Yes.
does not then have to, the father does not have to then take out the fitrana for his children because he's already paying them. But as a
Mm,
sawab, you can do this. The father can do that or the mother can do that. But as a sawab, you can do this. So this is one of the rulings of coming on the eve of Eid al-Fitr, and then what are the regulations and rules for giving out the fitrana. The fitrana is
mm,
only, as I said, and I'll repeat again, for those people that are under the dependency. And if you are still a child of another parent, but if you have become independent, then independent people have to take out their own fitrana. So it could be the other way
mm,
around as well. So you could be the man
mm.
and you could be a son and a father. So for example, Brother Jafar,
Yes.
you're the son and you're a father. So now that your father
Yes.
is no longer working and he's dependent on you, that you are supporting
Mm,
him, your mother and your father, then you will have to take
yes.
out the fitrana for your mother and father and your children and your wife, those that are dependent
Yes.
on you. So that's
Mm,
the rule of fitrana. This is a very good rule because you might have some people that you are supporting. For example, those poor relatives. So then you take out their fitrana as well, and then you give it to them as well. So these are some of the
mm.
regulations that I wanted to share with you and explain to you how this works. So
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, brother.
just one more point, Brother Jafar. Uh, this is that if you have yatim children, okay, they are not related to you, but because those
Mm,
yatim children are in your dependency, you have to take out
mm.
fitrana for them as well. And that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Thank you very much. Just to add one more hadith. Yes.
Yes, continue.
Just to add one more hadith on the emphasis of giving out zakatul fitr. Here I'm reading a hadith from Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam. He says, "Inna min timam al-sawm i'ta'u zakah, yani al-fitra." For the fasting to be completed, we have to give out zakah, and that is zakatul fitr. كما أن الصلاة على النبي من تمام الصلاة. The way saying salat ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, in the prayer, it completes the prayer. Without saying salawat, when we are reading tashahud, our prayers are not accepted. It's not complete. It's not even accepted. So the way salawat ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad is connected to the prayer is the same way zakatul fitr is connected to our fasting. لأنه من صام ولم يؤدي الزكاة. Verily, for the person who has fasted and he has not paid zakah, فلا صوم له إذا تركها متعمدا. He doesn't have the benefits, or he won't get the rewards of fasting if he has not given out zakah intentionally. فلا صوم له إذا تركها متعمدا. He won't get the thawab, or he doesn't have the fasting if he decided to leave out zakah intentionally. So, for the ones who are able to pay, they should do it. For the ones who are less fortunate and they cannot pay it, then they deserve to take. And inshallah, may Allah accept our ibadah and may He accept our fasting.
Thank you, Brother Jafar. So this is what we know about the fitrana that we should take out. Let's now, because
Yes.
this is our last program, I would like to, if there's nothing else you want to say more on this topic, we can go on to our other
No,
topics
no, I
that we
don't have
wanted to
anything
speak
else to
about.
add.
Right. If you don't have anything else to add, then I have, which is that
Mm,
we wanted to recap of what we discussed in this whole month and what we can take from this whole month with the
mm,
programs that we were doing. So, dear viewers and Brother Jafar, what I can understand in this month is that we have seen a lot of things happening. some zulm
mm,
happening in the Quds. We've seen
mm,
we've seen a lot of events that are taking place. This
mm,
year has to be different from the previous year, this Ramadan, and the Ramadan that will come. The challenges that we are
mm,
facing in the world as individuals, as a society, as a community, we all have to look into this. The one thing that I think we should take from this Ramadan is unity. Wherever we
mm,
are in this world, Brother Jafar, I believe that we should be united. We are all
mm,
facing the same challenges. The world is
mm,
changing, the culture is changing. How do we, in a changing culture, changing environment, do we protect ourselves? The first
mm.
method is by uniting. Unity is
Yes,
one way of making a lot of problems, a lot of hardships away from our society by us being united. How? Because when we are united, we share the burden, we protect one another, and this is what we need
yes,
to do. I'm sure you would be thinking about this as well when you're planning to return back from Iran to Kenya. That you need to unite the Muslimin in Kenya, the Ahl Tashid
yes.
Mu'mineen, the believers, so that they can
Mm,
protect themselves. And how this unity works is, well, there are two methods. One is financially, socially supporting one another, and culturally
yes,
supporting one another. These are the two methods
mm,
that we can be united. Because
yes,
culturally, we touch on the political aspects and also how our children are managed. Without culture, we will lose our children to alien cultures, non-Islamic
mm,
cultures, and this is what is happening. For
mm,
example, we discussed about the LGBTQ issues. We discussed about the trans issues. We discussed
mm,
about women rights. Should women work or
mm,
not work? We discussed about these things. We discussed about the atrocities, the zulm happening in Al-Quds
mm.
against the Philistine. How should we support them? All of these things are connected. We talked about
Yes,
the propaganda that is happening in the world, Brother Jafar, the way our
yes,
children are being brainwashed by the media, the onslaught of the media,
mm,
the things that they
mm,
are being taught in the school. We discussed about these issues. We also discussed about
mm.
spiritual insight, how we can increase our spirituality
Yes,
with this month of Ramadan and with the pious people that we have, those that are connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
mm,
And then we also discussed about our health, how if there's no health, then we cannot do anything. Is there things that you
yes.
would like to add on this, or should I continue talking?
You can continue talking, but I would like to add something. Here,
Yes,
you talked about unity. And on the other side, I think it's very important for people to learn their religion, not to practice it as a hobby or not to practice it as a lifestyle. You know, bro, I was born a Muslim. I saw my father praying like this. Now I have to pray like this. You know, bro, I saw my father doing this. I think it's okay. Now I have to do this. Some people, they don't know. Even they don't. When we are talking about the ahkam of, wajib, mustahab, mubah, some people, they didn't know it. It was very amazing when I went. It was in 2017 when I went to one of the regions in Kenya. I went for Tabligh. I stayed there for 1 month. I assumed that the people who are there, all of them are Muslims and they pray their 5 daily prayers. But when I started mentioning the daily prayers, I mentioned Subh, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha. One of the old ladies who was just there, she stood up and she told me, "Oh, Sheikh, you just added one more prayer for us. We were only used to pray Dhuhr and Asr and Maghrib and Isha. Where is this morning prayer coming from? Why? Because they didn't learn Islam. They just practice whatever they saw other people doing. And they don't know that maybe that those people who are there, who are living by their side or who are neighbors or who are living by their neighborhood, they don't know if they were waking up at night and if they were praying because they were living far away from the mosque and from the Muslim society. So they were living in the villages, but they don't know what Islam says. They just practice Islam because they saw other people doing it. Oh, I saw so and so praying Dhuhr. Let me go with. I saw so and so doing so. I think it is okay because he's a Muslim. Maybe he also doesn't know. Maybe he also doesn't pray in the morning. So we shouldn't just take Deen lightly. We should take our religion seriously because it is the lifestyle that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and their Imam gave it to us. They introduced to us. We are living a very abnormal life. Let me call it that way because it's not normal. The normal life is the Islamic way of life. So we should take Islam seriously. And Islam, alhamdulillah, in everything, in every bit of our life has a word, has a direction towards it. When it comes to a proper upbringing of our kids, Islam has a talk about it. When it comes to our prayers, Islam has a talk about it. When it comes to finance, Islam has a talk about it. So we should know and we should focus about each and every segment of our life. We have to connect it to Islam and we have to refer it to Islam. What does Islam say about riba? Is it okay if I take interest from the bank? Is it okay if I give out money, then I take out interest when he returns back my money? We have to do that. Apart from unity, we have to do what? We have also to check our Islam and our moral value, inshallah, to be successful.
Yes, Brother Jafar, as you are saying about unity, and that's a very good point, that without knowledge, we will not be able to help our community or even the unity
Mhm,
if we do not have some knowledge. But I believe
mm,
I think both hands have to be joined. With knowledge, we have to have practicality, and practicality is that we to gain knowledge, we need to provide the right environment to our
mm,
community, to our society, to our family within. If there's a family that is having fights, the husband and wife are not
mm,
united, what kind of knowledge will the children get? Other than them seeing their
mm.
parents fighting, they won't get any knowledge. So there
Yes.
has to be harmony. There has to be harmony in between the husband wife, between the big relatives, the tribe, the community itself, and
Mm,
only then you can prosper,
mm,
and only then you can actually grow. Otherwise, you will
mm.
not be able to grow with the way things are happening.
Yes.
So this is something that I believe is very important. And
Mm,
those that have money, those that are businessmen, traders, they should spend their
mm,
money on the religion. They should spend their
mm,
wealth on the making the religion strong. Because there is no
mm,
point just spending the money on your children. And if you just spend it on your
mm,
children, who would the children marry? They need to marry good
mm.
spouses. For those good spouses, you
Yes.
need to spend. You have to give your effort into the community, because do not just look
Mm,
into your immediate family, your children. All the
mm.
Muslim children should be your children. All the
Yes.
all your you have your own blood brothers. But anyone who says
Mm,
La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah is your brother. So you should think for
yes.
them as much as you will think for your own brother. You have one parent,
Yes.
but that doesn't mean other people's parents are not your parents. You should respect them as your
Mm,
parents. So if we have
yes.
the respect and humility in our hearts, we can protect
Mm,
ourselves from all the fitnas, the corruption, the calamities, the problems that are coming in the world. We can make, and
mm,
the best way to unite is under the banner of Abba Abdullah al Hussein. He is the best lesson for us. I'm sure that
mm,
Muharram is round the corner. After Shawwal is Al Qadda, Al Hijjah, and then Muharram.
mm,
So
mm,
this is a lesson for us that from this Ramadan we reach till Muharram.
mm,
Ramazan is teaching us how to sacrifice for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that in Muharram we
mm.
understand the sacrifice of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, and we can save ourselves
Yes.
in the Safina Najat. He is the Safina Najat. He is the ship that will
Mm,
save us from the floods of this dunya, the floods that the
mm,
world is seeing. What type of flood are they? The
mm,
flood of shahwat. This the
mm,
whole the world, the culture that we are in, is drowned in lust, is drowned in immoral acts, is drowned in
mm,
running after wealth. We are all drowned
mm,
in this. And the only way we can save ourselves from drowning in this pit of fire of lust and greed and selfishness, we discussed about greed as well, is by clinging with
Yes.
Ahlul Bayt. Clinging with Ahlul
Mm.
Bayt, united under one banner, and trying not to cause any fitna between our own family, between brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, between husband and wife, and between the whole clan and tribe itself. Is there anything you want
Yes.
to add on this, Brother Jafar?
Inshallah, I don't have anything to add on that. We're remaining with around 14 minutes to the end of the program. And right now, I think you've already summarized whatever we had talked about concerning the issue of, akhlaqiyat, moral values. We came to the issue of controversial issue that some other people, they ask what is the difference between ruh and nafs. We talked about those things. We talked about, akhlaqiyat, greed. We talked about salah. We talked about Ramadan. Alhamdulillah, if our viewers, they want to check or they want to revise whatever we talked about, they can, they can go to our page of Ahlebait TV and they can check it over there. Without taking much time, brother, I would like to ask you a question. So, if one person asks you, Maulana, what have we learned in this holy month of Ramadan by fasting? Have we learned anything? Or is it over? We just fasted and it is over. So what should we carry with ourselves from Ramadan, before Ramadan? And we said Ramadan is like a bridge that we use it, or a ladder that we use it to ascend our spiritual level. So what are we carrying? We were in Shaban, Rajab and Shaban, and on the other side we have Shawwal, Dhul-Qa'dah and Dhul-Hijjah. This is Ramadan. So what are we carrying with ourselves from from Shaban and Ramadan to cross to Shawwal and Dhul-Qa'dah? So should we carry anything with ourselves from this time that we spent in Ramadan and fasting, or no? Ramadan is over. We should go back to our daily life. So what should we do after Ramadan?
Well, as you nicely put, Brother Jafar, that the strength, the stamina, the willpower that we have obtained in this month should at least give us some power to be able to resist the attack of Iblis Mal'un. We have
Mm,
been given this power. We have been given this blessing to hopefully maintain our spiritual high status till we reach the next
mhm.
Ramadan. But we need to remember
Yes.
that there are external forces that will try to break our willpower. If you want
Mm,
to measure how strong your taqwa was, or how much you gained from this Ramadan, then you will
mm,
see it by the first day of Eid al-Fitr. If you see on
mm,
Eid al-Fitr you are dancing and jumping and drinking and smoking and whatever you do, back to bad habits, then know
mm,
that your iman was only until the month of Ramadan. But if you
mm,
resist the attacks of shayateens, of the jinns
mm,
that are attacking us,
mm,
that are trying to cause us waswas and make us lose our faith, and you continue it for say 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or 4 months, then
mm,
you should understand that your fasting was accepted in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, according to the amount of taqwa and resistance you do in the next year.
mm,
Because every year when we do fasting, this should have an effect on our soul. It should make us
mm,
stronger than the previous year. It should make our nafse
mm,
ammara going towards
mm.
nafse lavama.
Good.
And those that are on nafse
Mm.
lavama, they should be going towards nafse mutma'inna. So this is a journey
Mutmainna.
we are going towards. So it is very important that we need to see where we are in our journey. It'll be a shame that we are not progressing. So every Ramadan, we should be progressing towards a better direction, a better marifa, a better purification of our soul.
Mm,
And we should be cleansing some
mm,
of the sins that we are committing, and we should be increasing our worship. And if you see the
mm,
trajectory is in the right direction, and you see each Ramadan you're improving, then God
mm,
forbid, if something happens to you, even while you're committing a sin, at least
mm,
you will be able to show that you have been progressing throughout your life
yes.
from wherever you started. I'm not
Mm,
saying that people should start doing sins, start committing sins because of Ramadan you've been forgiven. No, what I'm trying to
mm,
say is that if you are still committing sins after Ramadan, that is because you have a weakness of iman and a weakness of your
mm,
nafs. So you
mm,
have to somehow keep fighting yourself to win over
mm,
your lower nafs. So you need to fight that
mm,
nafs to become strong of your desires. And once you become strong over your desires, then you will be able to even progress further. It's not an easy task.
mm,
We've discussed it before. There are two types of jihad: the battle that we
mm,
go and fight on the war, then there's the inner
yes.
battle, the battle with the
Mm,
nafs. This is more harder than the battle outside, as we hear from the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That and this Ramadan is one of those opportunities. How we can carry this ahead is if we continue fasting even after Ramadan. So we can do the
mm,
mustahab fasting. The fasting, for
mm,
example, on the 13th, 14th, and the 15th. These are recommended fasts.
mm,
It's like if you keep the fast on the 13th, 14th, and the 15th, it is as though you have kept the fast for the whole month. We have a riwayat for this
mm,
and hadith for this. And how you can
yes.
maintain this furthermore is by praying on time. As long as you pray
Mm,
on time, it will protect you from a lot of, we've discussed this as well in our previous discussions, from fahshiyat,
mm,
from things that are
mm,
immoral acts. It can keep you
mm,
from acts that are degrading, indecent acts, immoral acts, actions that are not in the shan, in the respect of a Muslim.
mm,
So these are a few things I was thinking that we can carry with us. So if we carry continuing doing fast on the 13th, 14th, and the 15th, and if we
mm,
carry on praying on time, then these two things will minimum, and also reading Quran. Quran is very important. As long as we do
yes.
these things, it will keep us on the straight and narrow path. We also discussed about
Mm,
Pulisirat, the bridge that we cross.
mm,
The bridge is our life. So if you
mm,
see some people falling from hell and then coming back on the pole sirat, that is because they
mm,
slipped somewhere. They did a sin. They didn't ask repentance for it. So they have to pay the price on that bridge by
mm,
falling off the bridge into Jahannam, into hell, and
mm,
then being cleansed and coming back on the path.
mm. Yeah. Thank you very much, brother, for sharing the benefits that we have to carry with ourselves even after month of Ramadan. Do you have anything to add before I continue?
No, no, I'm leaving it to you now.
I remember we talked about charity and sadaqah. Just to add on that, connecting it to the issue of hadith of Eid and giving out zakah. There is a verse in the Holy Quran that says, "La tubtulu sadaqatukum bil manni wal adha." When you are giving out zakah, when you are giving out sadaqah or even anything, zakah, don't destroy it with man and disturbance. Man is telling somebody, if it wasn't me, you would have died, you would have suffered, because you think that you are the one who is giving out risk without forgetting that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made you as a means to pass somebody's risk through your hand. And also, we shouldn't disturb. Some people, they don't want to be taken photos when you give out sadaqah or when you give out zakah. So you find somebody who is there around your area, who is who's a little financially down low. You go there, give out zakah or give out sadaqah, and say, taking a selfie just to degrade that somebody's status. It is very bad. It is very bad, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to punish us. So coming back to this issue of what to take with ourselves even after Ramadan, the first thing that I would like, I'm advising myself and you, brother Faizul Hassan, and our dear viewers, is taqwa. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He said, يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. So The fasting is compulsory, is obligatory for us. The way it was compulsory and obligatory for the people who passed before us, just for us to elevate our status of taqwa, of piousness. So right now, have we gained the taqwa that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala meant in His Quran? If we are sure that we have already gained that, and we are sure that our fasting has been accepted, then we should go and celebrate Eid. Why? There is a hadith here saying, إِنَّمَا هُوَ عِيدٌ لِمَنْ قَبَلَ اللَّهُ صِيَامَهُ وَشَكَرَ قِيَامَهُ. Eid is for the people whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has accepted their fasting, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has rewarded or has accepted their night standing and their night prayers. If we are not sure if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has accepted our fasting, why should I go and celebrate outside? What am I celebrating? I am celebrating because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has accepted my fasting. Without that, then we'll be celebrating like kids. I'm celebrating because I'm done with fasting. From tomorrow, henceforth, I'm not going to fast. That one is not okay. That's not for a mu'min. That's not for a Muslim. It's for kids and the people who just converted to Islam, who don't know the meaning and the spiritual effects or benefits that we're getting from fasting. That's why people should go out and celebrate. Oh, because we are done with fasting. No, we should go out and celebrate because we are sure our level of Iman has lifted, our spiritual level we have already uplifted our spiritual level. Then we have to go out and celebrate because we have already gained the piousness, the taqwa that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala meant in this verse. Apart from that, do we have any other Eid apart from the 4 Eids that we know? Fitr, Ghadir, we have Eid al-Adha, the Qurban, and we have also Eid al-Jum'ah. The Jum'ah is also counted one of the Eid day. So do we have any other Eid apart from that? Yes, we do have. It is said, Amir al-Mu'minin he said that كل يوم لا يعصى الله فيه فهو يوم عيد. Every day or any day that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala we have not done ma'asiyah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we've not gone against the way and will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then it is an Eid. Eid is not only for tomorrow. It is for a person who has not done ma'asiyah, who has not made any ma'asiyah, any haram act during on his day. The whole day you are there. Before you sleep, you have to go through your file, and if you see that you haven't done anything wrong, that you haven't gone astray, that you haven't done anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is unpleased with it, then that day should be counted as Eid for you. What other things should we carry with ourselves? Ikhlas. We are sure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there, and we are sure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward us. Why? Because we fasted. You stayed the whole day, 13 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 8 hours, without taking food. Why? Are you sure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward you big? Yes. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised me. That is ikhlas. That is trusting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Without even seeing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but we trust in Him because we know whatever we are having in our life belongs to Him. So we are having ikhlas. We are having trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we are sure Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to accept our fasting. In the hadith that we read previously, we said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, As-sawmu li wa ana azibi. Sawm is mine, and I'm the one who is going to reward it. So we should have ikhlas with ourselves. First of all, we should have taqwa, fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and piousness. The second thing, we should have ikhlas, that whatever we are doing in our daily life, may it be good or bad, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward us for the things that we are doing. The third thing is for us to be stiff, or to be what? To be hardcore. Can I call it hardcore or what? To be patient. To be patient on whatever we are passing through. We've already shown ourselves. We've already shown ourselves that we've already shown ourselves and also shown our family that we can stay. We can be patient on whatever we are passing through. We stayed the whole day without food. We can remember the thirst and the hunger that will strike people on the day of judgment. We can also remember the hunger that the Ahlebait passed through. وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ مِسْكِينًا وَيَتِيمًا وَأَسِيرًا. that verse revealed that verse revealed because of the condition that Ahlebait or Ahlul Kisa or Imam Hassan and Hussain and Imam Ali and Bibi Fatima passed through. So we have to be patient on whatever situation that we are going to face in our life. The way we are patient on fasting and without taking anything, or we should also be patient on whatever we are going through, just to gain bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I think we ran out of time and you can finish up the program, inshallah.
Brother Jafar, because it's our last program, why don't you end the program for us?
Okay. Dear brothers and sisters, and you, Brother Faizul Hassan, inshallah, may Allah accept our fasting during this the whole month of Ramadan, and may He reward us accordingly. And inshallah, may we meet and may we meet and uplift our status of iman in the coming Ramadan, inshallah, and may He, give us health and give us stability in our religion and in our taqwa and iman. Inshallah, may Allah accept our prayers and may Allah accept our amal during this holy month of Ramadan and after. And inshallah, may we be observant on whatever we've spoken about, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward us abundantly. May Allah accept our prayers. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.